Guys, every time you get paid, you need a system. Most people, they get paid and within 24 to 48 hours, the money is gone. Not necessarily physically gone, but emotionally gone. And that's why so many people feel financially stuck even when they make pretty good money. So I want to talk about what you should do every time you get paid. Not some of the time, but every single payday. Because when you're trying to build wealth, you gotta have some habits, not just hyped up moments and bursts of excitement. That don't work. If you keep repeating the same bad paycheck habits, you're gonna keep getting the same bad financial results. So let's break it down. The first thing you gotta do every single time you get paid is start with a budget. In fact, you need a budget before you get paid. So you know exactly what the money is supposed to be doing for you. And you control your money instead of your money controlling you. A budget is what I like to call your measuring stick, right? It's your guardrails that keeps you sort of in check. Listen, if you hear a YouTuber or a podcaster or somebody out there saying, don't do a budget, you need to change the channel. Listen, every time you get paid or you get money, your budget should already be waiting on your paycheck. Think about it like this. If you're a sports team and you got a big game coming up, you don't let the game start and then after the first few minutes, you introduce a game plan for the team. No, that's not how you do it, right? You start with a plan before the game starts. You start with a budget before you get the paycheck, right? You got to tell your money what to do. You got to stop getting bullied by your bills. Your budget is going to provide you with organization that you need. And your budget is your priorities, which are important. And when you do a budget, you got to be sure that the first thing you do is make sure you put your essentials at the top. What are the essentials? Your housing, whether it's rent, mortgage, whatever it could be, utilities, food, transportation, insurance. Those are the stability categories, your safety nets. So you got to do that budget and put those essentials up there at the top. And listen to me carefully. Give every dollar a name. Give every single dollar that you're going to get in that paycheck, give it an assignment. That's what we call a zero-based budget. If you want to be better with your money, you have to stop operating your financial life off of randomness because money hates chaos, but money is attracted to organization, and that's what a budget does for you. This is structure. And once your budget is in place that you do with your income and your expenses that are listed with the most important essential things at the top, then we move on to the next thing that you should do every single time you get paid. Now, the second thing is this, and I'm going to catch some of you off guard with this one. But the second thing you want to do is prioritize some type of giving. Every time you get paid, put giving near the top of your budget, no matter how small it is. It may be just a few dollars. Look, I don't care if you budget $5 or you budget $500 or $1,000 a month or more. It really doesn't matter. It's not about how much you give, but it's a principle. Right? See, giving is bigger than money. Giving trains your heart not to worship money, not to chase after money. What giving does is it teaches you gratitude and it teaches you stewardship and balance with your paycheck. And I know some of you right now are listening to me and you're saying, smart money, bro, I don't have enough money to give nobody. Listen, I'm not talking about impressing people with the amount or what you give. I'm talking about developing the principle in your financial life. Even if it's a small amount, build the habit right now. Because here's the deal. If somebody won't give a little, they probably and usually won't give a lot. The principle of giving is too mature to care about how much you give. It just wants you to develop the habit of pouring something into other people's cup. That's all. If you give on a regular basis or at least once a month, you find some ways to give to people, guys, do me a favor and let me know in the comments below how you're able to find that money to give, because there's a lot of people that think they don't have it. They can't give and help other people. Now, after giving, here's the third thing that you need to do every single time you get paid. You have to account for the extra money. Let me explain that one. This right here is where a lot of people lose control. Every single time you get paid, You need to account for the extra money, or what I call the cushion, that's left over after you've paid all of your monthly expenses. Now, when you account for about how much you have left over after all your expenses are paid each month, you need to take that number, whether it's $200 left over or $1,200 left over or $2,000, and put that number near the top of your budget and pay it just like it's a bill that you're going to pay every single month, according to what we call, again, a zero-based budget, where all the money is spent on paper first. And then I want you to assign that cushion of money a role. Give it something to do. That role could be towards your savings. It could be towards paying off some bad debt. It could be extra money that you're putting towards investing, right? So you're giving that extra cushion of money a name and an assignment right there on your zero-based budget. Because here's what happens to a lot of people. They do everything else with their money, and then they use whatever's left over to just do whatever with. And that right there is where financial chaos lives, okay? In other words, you got to be intentional with all of the money. You got to tell all of your money where it's going. Not once your budget is organized and all that, but you got to put the extra money at the top and pay it like a bill, whatever you're trying to pay it towards. And that way it has an assignment too. Now, here's the fourth thing that you should do every time you get paid. Pay yourself first. Now, look, I know people will say, well, that goes at the very top. It's a part of it, right? It's a part of the first steps to accomplish what you want to accomplish every time you get paid. But be sure that you pay yourself at least 3 to 5% to yourself. That's the very least, okay? Even while you're still getting out of debt. Then later, after you get out of your bad debt, after the bad debt's paid off, or after your emergency fund is fully funded for 5 or 6 months of your expenses, then you need to increase the amount that you're investing or you're paying yourself first. Look, whether your job offers a match or it doesn't offer a match, still pay yourself every time you get paid at least 3 to 5%. And again, we're going to increase that later, right? And let me tell you why, okay? Because the best person to take care of the old you is the young you. Listen to me carefully. I don't care what's going on in the economy. I don't care who's the president. I don't care what inflation is doing right now. You need to pay your rent or your mortgage 20 years from now, today. You need to pay for your food and your water and your shoes and your utilities and your transportation for 20 years from now, today, right? Pay it all today so that you don't have to be worried about those things in the future, because the future you is dependent on the present you. And the earlier you start to take care of the old you, the easier your future is going to become. Now, once you begin paying yourself first, here's the fifth thing that you must do every single time you get paid. Resist lifestyle inflation. Now, this is one of the biggest financial traps in America. Every time people get paid more money, they usually go out and start spending more money. They get a bigger car, they get a bigger house payment, they take on more subscriptions, they start eating out a lot more, right? They have more wants, and before long, here's what happens. Their income went up, but their financial peace didn't go up along with it. So this is why we find people who make 6 figures or more, lots of money, but they're still living paycheck to paycheck, right? So every time you get paid more money, you got to resist the temptation to spend more on your wants. And instead, spend more on paying down bad debt, or spend more on building up your emergency savings or investing more money, right? That's how you build wealth slowly and intentionally. Over time, what happens is that cushion that you have left on your budget to pay some of these things, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Listen, in the year 2026, you might only have $500 left over at the end of the month, right? That cushion is $500. In the year 2036, that cushion should be $2,500 to do extra with, right? Because you're not trying to spend a whole lot more just because you make a whole lot more. Now, I know that there's inflation, so things are going to go up. We know that. But you got to do your part to not give into the lifestyle creep, that's out there. Remember, it's not about trying to look rich, but it's about trying to become financially stable. Okay. Now, the sixth thing that you need to do every single time you get paid is invest in self-improvement every time you get paid. It could be as simple as buying a book every time you get paid. In other words, you need to incorporate into your budget $10, $15, $20 every time you get paid to buy something to read, right? I don't care if it's an audio book. I don't care if it's a physical book, but every book that you need to learn about money can be found out there somewhere for $10, $15, $20. Look, that's the same price as a bowl at Chipotle or a foot-long Subway sandwich, right? 99.9% of people listening to me right now can't afford $10 or $15 every 2 weeks. And if you're in that 0.1% of people who truly can't afford it, listen, there are free audiobooks on YouTube, or there's basically free books to read at your local library. There's free things to get your hands on to learn, right? Maybe you got to go out and get that library card and start educating yourself. There's no way, listen to me closely, there's no way that you can have a $1,000 cell phone, but you can't find $25 a month to buy a book. So if you're not willing to invest $20 or $30 every time you get paid into your learning and your self-education, what are you really out here doing? What do you want out of life? What do you really want out of this world? You must be willing to invest in you, right? Because nobody else is going to invest in you. If you're not investing in you, you're worth it, right? You matter. You don't always have to get everything for free out here. Sometimes you have to invest in your learning. You have to invest in your education, in your own self-development, because you have to learn something new to get to a new place. You have to take in new input to get new output. And if you don't like where you are financially right now, you can't afford not to be investing in your learning, in your self-improvement every time you get paid. Put that in your budget. One book every payday. In 1 year, you're going to have 24 to 26 books, extra books that you've read and you've learned from, right? Now, here's the key. You got to read them, okay? Don't just buy books and let them sit because you want to feel good about the fact that you bought books. You got to actually pick them up and read them. Now, after self-improvement, here's one last thing that you need to make sure you do every time you get paid, and that is build yourself some sinking funds. Let me explain this. Every time you get paid, you should be adding some money to sinking funds for large purchases or for recurring yearly expenses. Because life is going to happen, right? Whether you're planning for it or not, there's going to be taxes, there's going to be homeowner association dues, Christmas gifts, birthday gifts. There's going to be insurance deductibles that have to be paid. Whatever it can be, there are recurring things and there are large items that you need to purchase. These are not considered emergencies. These are expected expenses. And financially organized people, they prepare for these things little by little over the course of a year. That's what sinking funds are all about. Planning ahead so that you can reduce your stress and create more stability for you to stand on when you're trying to build some wealth and trying to get better with your money. And that's really what this channel is all about, guys. Not hype, not trying to get you excited just to click on the video, not acting successful online, right? But just strictly structure and organization with your money, because that's going to go a long way. You got to be intentional with this thing. And that's how ordinary people can slowly but surely, using a paycheck, build an extraordinary financial life over some time. Look, most financial stress, it don't come from the lack of income. It comes from the lack of structure with your personal finances. Listen, if you need help building a complete financial system for your life, that's exactly why I created the 4-Step Financial Reset. It's the first link in the description box below. And please feel free to join us over on Patreon. That link is going to be in the description box as well. If you got some value out of this video, do me a favor and let me know in the comments below. You can just say, I got value, and share this video with someone who you think probably needs to hear it, okay? If you want 7 more habits that build wealth the quiet way, do me a favor and check out this video right here next.